everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Divine Diva, where my friend and guest for today is Eos. So, hi, Eos. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm Eos Koch. I'm a web designer, brand designer, holistic coach, and I'm so excited to just dive in and share and be here with you.
Yeah, and we just talked to each other and said it's been 3 years since we first met on my first podcast. So, I thank you so much for being here on this podcast again.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to dive in. I always have such good questions and such a
Oh,
good perspective on
thank
life as well. Like I appreciate that.
thank you, and I appreciate you for that. And I would love to know, like, in your view, what qualities does a divine diva have?
Mm. I would, that's a good question. So just jump in right away. I would say presence. Like what comes up is presence. Like holding ourselves with everything that is.
Mm.
That's
Oh,
the
I love
first
that.
example. Like
Yeah.
whatever emotion wants to be there, to have the capacity to like feel the emotions, allow them, if they are good or bad or everything in between, like even not labeling them.
Right.
But the more we learn to hold them, the more resilience we build through that, right?
Right. And to me, like also presence goes hand in hand with embodiment.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes,
Yeah, because if you have to feel the emotions, you have to allow your body to feel and release them so that they don't get stuck as a
yes,
as an emotion in your body.
totally. And also through that, you become alive, right? So
Mhm.
probably the natural consequence of the presence then is aliveness.
Mm.
And
Yes.
through the aliveness, you can choose. Like, I think there is also a choice with like a divine diva. How do you want to feel, right?
Hmm.
Is
And
it
how do
more
you want to respond?
graceful? Yes. Is it graceful? Is it soft? Is it strong? Is it inner power? Is
Mm.
it like what is my like shade on the
Right.
spectrum of divine diva?
Right. Oh, I love that. I love that.
And what it is today, because it can be totally different today than tomorrow.
Yeah, depending on your mood and how soft you want to be. To also, I think that comes with the compassion towards yourself. If you want to be a bit softer that day, or a bit more on a different spectrum where you're a bit more fierce and a bit more strong, or yeah,
Yeah.
that allows you
And I
to
think
to
the divine diva is all of it. It's not just like
oh,
the softness and not just like the fierceness, but it's being able to hold the full spectrum of the
mm,
paradox as well, right?
I love that. And I would love to know also, how did you find your divine purpose?
Mm. How do I define my divine purpose?
How did you find? I'm sorry, how
How
did you
do, how
find?
do, how do I
Yeah.
find my divine purpose? Oh, that's a difficult question. I feel it's with showing up again and again with what is in front of me.
Mhm.
And through that, a refinement happens like a raw diamond. And in the beginning, you don't truly know what it is, right? Or how valuable it is.
Right.
And through like showing up and through the practices of reopening our hearts and doing the work and being of service, like for me the passion is really about creating freedom through helping women create their
Mhm.
brands, create their
Right.
websites, and create a beautiful life. I feel like the intention behind the brand and the business and the website is really to have a life where you can be that diva, right?
Mhm.
Where you
Right,
can
right,
be,
right.
like I often call it the queen, where you
Right.
can embody that queenness and because you have the freedom, because you do what you love and then you love what you do and the two
Mhm.
like a figure eight, they shape into each other and they
Right.
support each other. And I don't think I truly found it in a way. It's
Mhm.
finding it again and again, and it's
Right.
a practice of showing up for it again and again, and choosing it again and again.
Mm.
Kind of
And
like
since
when
you
I try to find it, it goes far away.
right.
When I allow it, it's kind of like, okay, it's already here, and it's a
Yeah.
practice of doing, of being, of embodiment.
Yeah, it's like you mentioned, that crystal that you find inside of you, but you have to like reshape it and polish it and rework it again until it's truly yours and authentic. And
Yeah.
because the start of my business was very different to where I am today. So
Yeah.
it constantly shifts and shapes and changes as you grow and evolve, of course, right?
Yes, and probably many desires you had them, you arrived now with your business, right? And
Exactly.
then the signpost just moves further into the future as well. Like there are
Right.
new desires and new intentions and new things that unravel through that, which is the beauty, but it also creates kind of, or it can create a kind of like not enoughness or scarcity in that because you're never there, because there's always a new idea, a new desire, a new growth.
Yeah.
And honoring that growth and honoring that and being grateful for how far we have come
Mm.
anyway.
And also kind of embracing the uncertainty, I think, because as a
Yes,
business owner, especially and a spiritual entrepreneur, life is never really 100% certain. You constantly change and evolve, and it's embracing that uncertainty that I think that is the place where the magic happens, really.
yes, yes,
Mm.
yes. Like I feel like being connected to trust even when things
Right.
are uncertain.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. And
not
I
wanting
love that
to
you've
control and
mentioned.
push.
Oh,
And
sorry.
I think that's totally the divine diva, right? Not
Yeah.
wanting to control and push and doing things with force,
Right.
but allowing to lean back and knowing things come to us.
Yes.
And we are in
That's
the right
the
frequency.
allowing, not the chasing. Mm.
Yes.
And I love that you've mentioned on, because I follow your Instagram, of course, and we've been friends for quite a while. So I love that you mentioned that your mind and soul are the symphony of creation. And how can we balance these two, like to create the life that we deserve?
Mm-hmm. Um, like the meaning behind it is that every thought we think is creating like a frequency, right?
Mm. Right.
I call it like divine templates, which is, for example, if you think thoughts that are like of abundance, then you create in your soul, in your frequency, in your aura, you
Yeah.
create that frequency. And that's the reality that you attract and that you
Mm.
create for yourself in that way.
Mm.
Um, or if you like focus your thoughts on scarcity, you can feel that things start to collapse and to contract. And
Mm.
that's the frequency you create. And it's a practice. It's not always easy because even though we want to think these things, um, it's not just you snap into that and then it's there, right? It's really something you have to allow it all. You have to allow the scarcity to be able to get to the abundance.
Mm.
And you have to allow the fear in able to be able to open your heart deeper for more love, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's not just black and white in that way, but it's our mind, and we do have so few control about our mind, right? It's
Hmm.
about, I don't remember, it's like 5% that is in the conscious and 95 that is subconscious.
Right.
So we are just a programmed pattern from the past, from our
Yeah.
experiences and from like the neural connections we have in our brain and our nervous system and how our nervous system reacts. And
Yeah.
we are just a construct of our past experiences and what. So how can we rewire that with
Yeah.
really attention in the moment and kindness and gentleness and allowing to feel?
Exactly. Because sometimes where you can think an abundant thought, if I should call it that,
Yes,
but your body restricts it or you feel attention,
yes, then
it's
it's
I
not
think
abundant.
important to listen to what your body is trying to tell you, right?
Totally, totally. And allowing that and
Yeah.
knowing that it's okay, we don't have to push it down or hide it away, or it's
Yeah.
okay that our body doesn't feel abundant all the time.
Mm. Yeah, because sometimes you also have to allow that tension to speak to you. Like, okay, where am I holding myself back or where is there room for growth, I think.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
And especially there is a lot of our nervous system coming in right as well.
Yeah,
And our nervous system tries to keep us safe. Like
exactly.
it is a mechanism to keep us safe. So
Yeah.
when we are tuned to, like when we grew up and growing up, there was a lot of struggle, a lot of pain, a lot of difficulties.
Hmm.
We are tuned to that, and that is the thing that feels safe.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
when we start changing and we get into places where we do have more abundance, where it is more easeful, we
Mm.
embody the divine diva more, it starts to feel unsafe. And
Yeah,
then that's the place where we start to create self-sabotages and where we start to recreate the struggle because we are like longing for the safety that comes with that. But it's
right.
like illusion of safety. It's not real safety. It's
Yeah,
just illusion that we hold onto.
yeah. It's just what we're used to that feels
Yes.
safe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's our baseline.
Mm. And how can we change the vibration when we feel a bit like stuck energetically? How can we shift that to something that is more vibrant and alive?
hmm I think allowing it, like
Mhm.
going back to that, like really allowing it, allowing that the struggle is real in some ways, allowing the struggle, like not going into resistance and trying to, because resistance keeps us stuck.
Right.
And then also really diving into, like, I really like abundance practices, for example, and where you like, okay, abundance to me, what kind of color does abundance have?
Mm. Right.
Like, what kind of things do feel abundant? Like for me, the ocean is always abundant, right?
Right.
Like, how can I go swim in the ocean today or sit
Yeah.
in the ocean?
Yeah.
Or what kind of like smaller anchors can I create? Like for me, you can see like the white crystals, they are
Yeah.
so much
Beautiful.
abundance for me, right?
Yeah.
Um, so flowers, fresh flowers, home baked apple pie, totally
Mm, okay.
abundance to me.
Yeah, just the smell alone.
Fabrics that feel good on the skin,
Yeah.
um, feeling beautiful,
Yeah.
um, having time for myself. A song, like there are certain songs, what song, what smell, like orange blossom, like
Mm,
that's kind of like my abundance codes, right? They are different for each and every one of us. But when we find ours, and I think there's this soul part that comes in. When we
mhm.
find and define these abundance codes, we can bring them in consciously and we can just 5 minutes, like an
Mm,
essential oil with orange blossom,
yeah.
and smell on it, and like, oh, okay, okay, that's how it feels like in my cyst. That's how it feels like in my
Yeah.
body.
Yeah, because I think it's so important to include all the senses when you think of the word abundance,
Yes,
because then you
yes,
can live it, feel it, smell it, and see what it
totally.
does to your body. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because then it opens you up in ways that you can't through the mind, right?
Yeah, for
And then
me,
you
it's
can
also
bring
like,
in the mind. Yes.
yeah, you can just wear nice earrings. That makes me feel happier. Just some nice accessories makes me feel luxurious and abundant. Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So it's really about finding
Things
what is
that
abundant for you. Yeah.
Yes, or if it's not abundance, like I work a lot with abundance, that's why I'm bringing it up. But it
Yeah.
can also be like happiness or softness
Yeah.
or fierceness. What does me make? What do I need for strong? Like I have the the jaguar there. You can like, probably see it in the video and behind me. There's this jaguar like, and that feels fierce to me, right? Holding
Yeah.
my boundaries, holding my energy,
Mm.
not collapsing into like patterns that don't feel good to me.
Mm.
And so we do have different words. Creativity. What
Right.
does creativity mean to me? Oh, it means to like cook a beautiful meal with new ingredients that I never did before.
Yeah.
Or
Wonderful.
do a
Yeah.
bouquet for my living room or buy some new plates.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
just having that and tuning into the words of feeling how we do want to feel and then finding practical somatic kind of
Right.
things.
Yeah.
Even music, playlists and music are so beautiful for this as well.
Yeah.
So what song does bring out creativity for me? And how
Mm.
can I just
Yeah.
have the habit or the practice of in the morning, that's just the first song I listen to before I do anything else. And
Yeah.
it sets totally the tone for the whole day.
Mm. I
And
love.
then it helps you to embody that, the divine diva, right? Because
Yeah.
it's that.
Hmm. And I would also love to talk about, because you've mentioned that my transmission from maiden to mother came before I was ready. So could you explain that a bit more?
Yes, that's an interesting one. It came before I was ready because I was 19 when I fell pregnant with my oldest daughter. I was just a little girl myself with 19, I feel. And then I became a mother so fast.
Right.
And there was no in between. There was not a lot of time. It was more kind of like a necessity that I had to step into that role.
Mm.
And it also felt really good because the maiden phase to me was kind of like more of a struggle. It was not an easy phase to me. And the mother phase, it gave me purpose beyond myself.
Mm-hmm.
It was for my daughter. Even my whole identity for like my business was built on like my why for my business for the longest time was
Right.
I wanted to build a business and show my daughters how it's possible to not just go into the 9 to 5 and into the
Mm.
system and being crushed by the whole conditioning, but creating a life of freedom and of abundance and of possibilities and of
Mm.
passion.
Yeah,
Like
because the
doing our
role of
own
the
business.
yeah, because you also mentioned the role of the mother, it suits you much better, and you became more yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to know what were some of the main lessons that you have learned in that transition period.
Mm, yes, and I think it suited me much better because I had really low self-worth in the beginning when I was a maiden, right?
Right.
And so there was no worth to myself. But
Right.
then for this little baby girl, it just shifted everything. I'm like, oh, I just have to be the best version for her.
Right.
And through that, my own self-love started to blossom. So I
Mm.
think the journey of mother for me was really that journey of building myself up
Mm-hmm.
to it's okay to be who I am, even though I don't fit into like my family of origin. I'm so different than them. I'm like more the black sheep in the family, more like an outcast.
Mm.
And through building that self-love and that self-worth up, and through that building my business as well,
Mm-hmm.
created a really strong foundation of embodying my own worth and being
Mm.
confident in myself and trusting myself, which is a
Yep.
journey
Oh
and
yeah,
still always.
always, never ending.
And my daughter now, she's 21, so that's 21 years ago.
Wow, that's
And
amazing.
she just moved back to Switzerland last year.
Oh
And we are
wow.
here in Spain, in Menorca.
Yeah.
So it was really the transition that made me reflect a lot about this
Yeah.
maiden
Yeah.
transitions, the different kind of
Yeah.
uh, stages we are in. And I feel with that letting go of my oldest daughter, letting her go back, do her own thing,
Yeah.
there came a new frequency, and that's the frequency I call the queen, right?
Oh, wonderful. I would love to know how does that feel? How did that shift go for you, from mother to queen?
The shift itself, it felt like crumbling. It felt like everything, like losing my feet. In the same time, like that, my daughter moved back, I lost 30 kilograms
Okay.
of body weight,
Oh my
which is a
gosh.
lot as well.
Wow.
So it really reshifted and realigned everything from my business to my relationship with my husband to my own relationship with my own body and myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm still in the early stages, I feel,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm back in myself. I'm back in my center. I'm able, but in the between time, there were like some dark times where it was really hard even to hold my own energy up
Mm-hmm.
to even see that it's worthy to be alive, right?
Right.
Because so many doubts that came up through that letting, because I tried to give the best for my daughter, being the best mother. I gave everything to that.
Right.
And then seeing like, oh my God, there were so many mistakes and so many things that I could have done better.
Mm-hmm.
It needed a lot of grief and a lot of, and I think that's where letting myself feel it all
Mm-hmm.
came in, but through that feeling on all, like a new kind of version of myself could be born out of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to let it go all.
Yeah.
It was not easy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I know.
not so many, like it's that dark night of the soul, right?
Oh
Where
my
we
gosh.
just mm,
Yeah, when you think you
feel
can't
that
go any
power.
deeper inside yourself and know more, you go even further and deeper.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes. And it's not
And
something you can force or it's something you can rush or something you can
yeah,
just, it has its own like rhythm.
yeah, it has its own timeline. Yeah, and I know that you've said that choosing myself and my health over my business felt like failure. I would love to know why you felt that way.
Mhm. I think my business through that mother type, it was built a lot in mothering, even in my business. Like mothering my clients, supporting them to
Mm.
create their business. There was a lot of mother energy, which is still there. I think it's still a part of my business. It's
Mm-hmm.
also part of who I am.
Right.
When I chose to lose the weight and to get healthy, because I was close to being pre-diabetic
Oh.
and it was just like not healthy anymore with the overweight. And I
Mm-hmm.
could feel how life just felt heavy in the body.
Right.
And then what I had to do is I had to go to work instead answering an email, right?
Mm-hmm.
And holding boundaries and saying like, no, I can't take this work on. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have the time. Oh, you have to wait a little longer. I can't hold this deadline.
Right.
There were a lot of it. That's what felt like failure because I was the one that always held everything, and
Right.
that like everyone before me, like
Mm.
I'm not really worthy to be taken care of.
Right.
To be able to lose the weight, I had to turn that pattern around. I had to
Mm-hmm.
say like I'm worthy to like take this walk.
Yeah.
I'm worthy to sleep an hour longer.
Yeah.
I'm worthy to be like well nourished in a way that feels healthy, not just eating the whole day like snacks or things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Unconsciously, I had a lot of emotional eating there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that. The stress, you feel a certain responsibility, of course, towards your business, towards your clients. You want to show up as the best version of yourself, but
Yes,
but still you have that internal struggle. Of course, we're only human as well, and we can carry only so much. So
yes,
allowing yourself that time to put yourself first, that is a major shift, of course.
yes. And that did feel like failure in my
Mm.
business because I couldn't please my clients in the way that I was used to, right? And
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
also good because my business through that shifted. But
Right.
eating totally was my coping mechanism, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
And
looking
again,
them
yeah,
to the eyes and seeing that
yeah.
and admitting that.
Oh,
Oof.
yeah. Oof.
Even to myself and then to others, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah. And that's again where the embodiment comes in, right? Like, okay, actually feeling what's going on and
Yes,
in there. And that's when you could release that and actually release the weight as well,
yes,
the physical and the mental weight.
yes. And then
It's
seeing,
beautiful. Hmm.
and with that, like a lot of other things release themselves that I wanted to hold on to.
Right.
Like my
Yeah.
daughter or like things in my business or relationship or in
Yeah.
like looking back now, they had to go, obviously,
Hmm.
but it's this pattern that we are used to, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And then
And
when
it's,
they go, it feels
yeah.
uncomfortable.
And sometimes it's part of like forgiving yourself, I think also because you constantly show up for others and
Yes,
you neglect yourself. And then you have that. I mean, I have felt the same as well, where you're like, okay, I'm constantly doing for others and being there for others, but I am neglecting my own mental health or my own physical health. And you have to forgive yourself, like, okay, I'm worthy of that same attention that I constantly give to others.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Again, that
Yeah,
filling
just
your own
even
cup first.
seeing that, just even seeing that, right?
Yeah.
And acknowledging that it needs so much courage.
Mm. Yeah, exactly. And again, that leads to more growth. And I think also when you accept that growth, you can be there for your clients and for your business even more.
Yes, yes, in new ways, in different ways, in a
Yeah.
different frequency, which
Yeah.
also, of course, which makes that some clients like go, other clients come in, and some
Hmm.
clients transform with you, right?
Yeah.
And my experience. And that's the hard thing because when you when you have clients that are there because they want to be like people pleased,
Right.
and then you stop people pleasing and they fall away,
Yeah.
that's hard.
Mm-hmm. It's
And then you
hard.
have a lot of clients that are totally okay because they see you as an example and they're like, oh my God, she is so brave to not people please anymore in that way. And that's an example from my life and what I want more of. I want to stay close to her, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then there are other people that would have never worked with you in the people pleasing version that
Yeah.
now like, oh my God, that's what I'm
Yeah.
looking.
Right. And you also mentioned something like the queen codes. I would love
Yes.
to know more. What does that mean for you?
I created a whole Oracle deck that is still in creation.
Oh,
It's
wonderful.
with the Queen Codes Oracle
Mm-hmm.
deck.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's really those codes of like owning our world, of embodying our abundance, of holding the wealthy woman, of
Right.
like of all these kind of different codes. I think it's a compilation of all the things I've learned
Mm,
during like Dark Night of the Soul.
right. Oh, I love that. And do you have any preview of like when that is coming out or not yet?
I hope it will be out in autumn this year.
Oh,
So the
wonderful.
parts are created. The booklet is in the writing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you also have written, of course, a wonderful book that I own. The
Oh
Soul
yes,
of Business.
and
I
first
love
book
that.
and writing
Yeah.
a second book. So
Oh,
yes.
wonderful, wonderful. I love it. I
So
love
like
it.
a lot of, I think a lot of creativity got unleashed because
Mm,
when you stop being there for others in that way, there is a new space opening up, right? Where
right.
you then are like feeling worthy of taking the time even to write again or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
shift to a different frequency from that.
Yeah, and also when you like release like a certain energy or like a blockage that is there, like creativity can flow again and you find new ideas and new
Yes.
inspirations and yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
and even as a matter as matters, we often are so on our daughters or children because we want the best for them. So a lot of energy goes to that.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter's now like the older one, she's 21, the younger one, she's 16. So they are not really small anymore. They
Mm-hmm.
do still need attention, even though like she's not living here, she still needs attention.
Yeah.
Way. But taking back that attention of, okay, I'm also worthy to put myself before my daughters. And I think
Mm.
that's
Yeah.
really a queen code as well, right? That kind of like, yes, I'm there for them. Yes, I love them unconditionally. Yes, I would go to the end of the world for them. I would do like anything for them. But at the same time, I can't collapse myself for them because it's not something that supports them.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that just teaches them ways of being that are not really healthy.
Right.
And
That's
I think that was
self-sacrifice.
part
Yeah.
of it. That was a part of it, seeing that, like, oh, I tried so hard to be the best example, and these are all the places I didn't succeed. And then there
Mm.
are like a lot of places I did succeed as well, right?
Right. Of course. Well, my final question is always the same, and that is, when do you feel most divine?
When did I feel most divine? I think in prayer and presence.
Mm. I thank you so much for sharing your inspirational story with us, Eos. Thank you.
Thank you, Susanne. Grateful to be here with you.
Thank you.